The first time I saw her, she was sitting alone on the park bench, gray hoodie, worn-out sneakers, eyes somewhere far away. I was jogging past when she looked up and smiled faintly. It wasn't the kind of smile that said hello. It was the kind that said I used to love this once. Every morning, I saw her there again. Same bench. Same silence. I finally stopped one day, panting, and said, "You know, if you're going to stare at runners all morning, you might as well join them." She laughed, a small, almost forgotten sound. "Oh, I used to. Long time ago." I shrugged. "Then let's start again. One step at a time." At first, she refused. Said her knees wouldn't cooperate. Said she was too old for this. But a week later, she stood there at sunrise, shoes tied, hair pulled back. That morning, we didn't run. We just walked. Slowly, deliberately. She told me her name was Linda. She used to run marathons with her husband. He passed away last year, she said softly. Haven't had the heart to come back here since. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded and walked beside her in silence. Sometimes, the best thing you can give someone is presence, not words. Days turned into weeks. She'd started bringing a water bottle and a playlist of old songs she used to love. We'd jog, stop, stretch, then laugh about how out of shape we both were. One morning, she asked if we could try the hill route. I warned her it was tough, but she smiled. I've handled tougher. Halfway up the slope, she stopped, hands on her knees, breathing hard. I reached out instinctively, steadying her. She looked at me with eyes that suddenly weren't tired anymore. "You make me feel alive again," she whispered. It caught me completely off guard. For a moment, I didn't know if she meant the run, or something deeper. But there was a light in her face I hadn't seen before, a spark, fragile yet fierce. From then on, she changed. She started eating better, sleeping better, talking about plans. "Maybe I'll volunteer at the youth center," she said one day. "Teach the kids to run." I smiled. "They'd be lucky to have you." A few weeks later, she showed up in a bright red jacket. "First color I've worn in a year," she said, twirling. "Feels strange, but good." That day, she ran the entire route without stopping. When we reached the bench, she raised her arms like a champion. "For him," she said quietly, looking at the sky. "And for me." One morning, I didn't see her. Then another. I started to worry. 3 days later, I found an envelope taped to the bench. Inside was a note. "Thank you for reminding me that life doesn't end when love does. It simply waits, quietly, for someone kind enough to run beside it again. You helped me find my breath, my peace, and my hope. Linda." Underneath was a photo, her, smiling at the starting line of a local charity 5K. She'd run it alone. I went to that same park the next morning, alone this time. The bench was empty, but the air felt different, lighter somehow. I started jogging, feeling the wind on my face, the rhythm of my heartbeat. Halfway through, I heard a woman's laughter echo somewhere in the distance. Maybe it was just my imagination. But I smiled anyway. Because sometimes, the greatest thing you can give someone isn't love or advice, it's a reason to keep going. And sometimes, without even knowing it, they give that reason right back. Moral: kindness doesn't always look grand. Sometimes, it's just walking beside someone until they remember how to move forward on their own.